Thank you. At the time I wrote that, it sounds optimistic. Sure, there's going to be more in the series. But at the time I wasn't sure, and at that time I was also dealing with like family problems, girlfriend.
But that's where the
problems.
stuff comes out, you know. I mean, you know, if you have a hunky-dory life, you know,
True.
a lot of times a lot of good poetry comes through. I do my best writing under adverse conditions.
Mine too.
Now, you know, we're on the internet age now. I know when I was in college in the '70s, there was no internet, we were just doing computers, and I don't think they were as prominent when you were in college either.
No.
But you, like many poets now, have blogs. You have this blog called the Freak Machine Press. You think blogs are helpful tools for a poet and writer?
I think they are. I think they're, first of all, they're very useful in communicating with other writers. I'm able to communicate with writers from California, New York, people in Ithaca, New York, just everywhere. People who I've only met just once, I can still keep in contact with. And it's through that I've actually had a lot of recent publications forthcoming.
May I say, I have a book coming out, and that's through my Ibbotson Update. Mm-hmm. This guy I did a review for, I said, by the way, he says I have a new press. I said, well, by the way, I have a new manuscript. And hey, it's a done deal, because you get to know people, these online communities.
It's definitely useful. The next step I think needs to be done, you were mentioning the mimeograph revolution. Well, I don't think that print is dead. Of course I don't think that.
I hope it's not.
Duh. But I don't...
Let's face it, wouldn't you rather have... You know, you can have all the websites and everything, but the print magazine, you know, refers back to the website. You really want something in print also. And I think if you're a poet, you really have to have print and online credits to, you know, to build up a resume. Because if you have all online, it's a little suspect. Because online, you know, it's easier. It's easier to get on. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but, you know, it's easier.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, all I need is library, and I can actually set up a blog and just update it as regularly as possible. And yeah,
put people's poems on it, right?
Print people's poems, print my poems. I mean, people are actually creating magazines out of just basically blogs. Blogspot, Typepad are two really good ones. Blog City's another one. Jim Burley's on that one.
The Google one you can do for free, can't you? The Google blogs.
I believe so. Yeah, I've been actually staying away from Gmail because I know how much. I've read a lot of stories, even before the Phoenix story came out, about privacy invasion. Right. And granted, Google and Yahoo seem to be share a bed, and I have a Yahoo address, but, you know, rather the devil I know at this point. But
what do you think of the quality of online poetry, Ched?
It varies as much as print poetry, which is probably the best compliment I get. It's just like the same, you know, yes, there's drone-like material, but when you get that one poem, it's just always worth it. The very fact that you can actually, you know, look through an online journal and say, wow, hey, you know, hopefully someone's done that with some of the poems I put in journals like Shampoo and Ballback.
Shampoo's a very good online journal.
That's a nice one. Delray Cross definitely has, he's very tough to get into.
How about Poetry Superhighway?
I have not attempted that one. I've actually, for a long time, all I was doing was getting published in online journals, and I still continue to, but I've really had a...
Well, you know, the advantage of that, and you know as I do, we all look each other up, we all Google each other. So if you see a poet and a poet, you say, well, let's see if this guy has done anything. And if you're on an online journal, you know that you're going to get a lot of hits. So in that regard, it's a good thing.
The next step is just getting it out to regular people. I mean, I tell people all the time, you know, my mom doesn't even know I have a blog. Barely looks it up. I literally have to direct it to her. There's people who might appreciate the poetry I do. I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm just trying to illustrate a point. But I actually gave a poetry reading in Bellingham, Mass. for a Barnes & Noble, and my family is not comprised of. They're comprised of readers, but not really writers. Not what they'd call intellectuals, though they're very smart people, and they got my stuff, and people just browsing got my stuff. I still remember the one woman who I absolutely had no idea who it was, just went and bought a book, just sat down, walking out of the Starbucks. Print can still do that. Online just doesn't have...
Because it's so huge.
It's so huge, and plus,
it's not that tangible.
It's so huge, and the way it is right now, in online journals, the poetry's kind of like meshed in with the long text words, kind of like the New Yorker poems are right now. Right. You have a poetry slate online, but how many people actually pursue
There's
it?
a very good local online magazine that's been around for a number of years that I recommend highly. Facets. Have you heard of Facets? It's done by MIT.
I think I've heard, yes.
It's really excellent. And the Mystic Valley, or Mystic River Review is in Arlington, Mass. is another very good local online publication.
Oh, they're absolutely wonderful. I think the next step, though, is just trying to find new readers. High Horse, which is one.
I've been in there. You've been in there. Yeah.
Both of us have been in there.
And he was the guy who started with Jim Burley the meeting.
Mike Buselli,
He's a
yes.
very nice guy. Let me ask you. I want people to know what's that address for the Freak Machine Press?
Oh, freakmachinepress.blogspot.com. And if you can't remember that, just look up my name, Chad Parenteau, in a Yahoo or Google search, and the blog is usually what comes up first.
Now, give me a list of your readings coming up.
I'm going to be doing the Toast reading on the 18th.
Now, that's at 70 Union Square, right here in beautiful downtown Union Square. And it's at 8 p.m., and you'll be reading with Logalucio, actually.
Absolutely. Oh,
yeah.
I thought she was in April. Am I missing you?
No, wait a minute.
Am I missing your name?
Oh, no, you're reading with Janet Cormier, February 18th.
And
Sorry
you.
about that.
And you.
Yeah, I throw myself in there, but,
Okay.
I won't be reading much.
Fair enough. And not much in readings right now, but I am going to be attending the Boston Zine Fair, and there is a link to that to my website. Yeah.
I'm going to be interviewing this woman, or man, Mothra, who is starting the zine library, and he's connected with the...
To the Zine Fair?
Yeah, Zine Fair.
It used to be called the Beantown Zine Town,
right.
Which was headed by Rich Mackin, and who's no longer here.
He's in Seattle, right?
He's actually in Portland, Oregon right now.
Same thing.
Rosie Street Pixie took over and renamed it, and she's currently charging. The biggest change is that she's actually charging for it, but Rich Mackin had the connections to get into the mass art for free, so you deal. But it's really an interesting venue, a great venue to be a part of. I was just an observer for many years, and then
We're off.
oh shite! I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. We got a lot in. It wasn't quite accurate.
Sorry about that. I really didn't mean to trail.